Hey everybody, CalviNNatioN here with another video, and in today's video we'll be doing a knife collection update vid. I haven't done one of these in about a year. Sorry to say I didn't get near as many knives between now and then as I did from when I first started collecting and my last update video. So I don't know how many more knives I have since then. Not a whole lot, but hopefully you guys enjoy. Still been getting quite a few requests for this, so we'll just get started. And it looks like I only have 11 minutes, so I'm gonna have to really go through this quick. So, Bill Moran, awesome folder, fixed blade, my only fixed blade from Spyderco. Super beautiful, got that nice orange and black FRN, full flat grind, nice thin spine, and yeah, it's just amazing. Great fit and finish, looks beautiful. Crazy sharp out of box, like all VG10 knives are, and just a solid knife. Haven't used that one for a long ass time though. Next we have our SOG Flash 1. This is the smaller version of the SOG Flash 2, or I guess you could say the SOG Flash 2 is a larger version of the Flash 1, but that's a nice little blade. Comes out ridiculously quick, probably still razor sharp. AUS 8 blade steel, cool blade. Next we have is our Kershaw OD2, I believe. This is a bead blasted knife with a G10-like looking handles, stainless steel locking bar there for the liner lock. Cool little knife. Haven't used that really ever. Who knows? Maybe I'll give that one away sometime. Next, we have one of my favorites, or at least it was one of my favorites for super long. This is the Spyderco Dragonfly in green G10. Awesome little knife. I think it's the only Dragonfly they offer in G10. Actually, they might have had a black one as well, but really cool that they actually have a different color for a change. That's a nice little knife. Like I said, I carried that one for super long, probably for the better part of a year, maybe a year and a half ago, or probably no, like 2 years ago. I think, yeah, I carried that one for a long ass time. Next, we have our ZT350, the smaller version of the 300. In fact, it's exactly 10% smaller. S30V steel, great jimping, tip up, tip down, left, right, and just overall great fit and finish. Tungsten DLC coating, pretty heavy, but this thing is an all-around performer. Also got an amazingly fast opening for quite a large blade. Next we have is our Emerson Mini Commander. This thing is wicked. This one, actually, if you don't know the story, I got sap all over the handles, so I ended up getting them switched out with blue handles, and then I used a drill press to kind of give them my own little look there, and I think it turned out pretty good for my little experience with it. I also gave all the kind of working parts there, get off man, a brushed steel kind of look, so that's pretty cool. Emerson Mini Commander, just definitely looking forward to getting probably another Emerson in the future. Get away. And that'll probably be a mini CQC7. Next off, we got our orange Spyderco Dodo. This thing was extinct. It came back in orange, soon to come back in carbon fiber, I believe. This one I have to say is kind of a safe queen, because I don't really want to get it so dirty, because you orange G10 lovers know that your orange G10 will get dirty quite quick, and this is a limited run, so I think I'm going to keep it kind of, away in the safe, if you will. However, that doesn't mean I won't use it and review it soon. Next we have is our orange G10. Orange G10, holy crap. Orange VG10 in Jira 4. Beautiful knife. Unlike the orange G10, the FRN doesn't take dirt as easy, so that's nice. Cool blade, brought that one tree planting, used it quite a bit. Next we have our Paramilitary 2 in orange. Sweet knife. This one is my primary carry for the last 2 months. Super cool. Really love that orange. This one I was probably going to keep as a safe queen, and then I just had to use it because it rocked so much. So there it is. Awesome little knife. Might as well jump over to the military for a sec, just to show you its older brother in orange. This one was also a limited run, and unfortunately mine was kind of a lemon, and I didn't know for a while until someone told me after I reviewed it. My tip is really dull, and that was straight from the factory. It also just looks overall shorter, the blade does, so I thought first maybe I should send it to Spyderco, but I realized all they're going to do is just regrind it or profile it again, so I thought it's going to look a bit smaller anyway. I'm going to keep it how it is. Kind of sucks. Was one of my favorites ever, not anymore, just because of kind of went downhill after I realized that the blade was kind of short and stubby compared to the average military. Next we have is our 915 Triage. Unfortunately, I have not yet saved someone from a burning car with this. I really want to get on the news, maybe. That'd be cool. Ouch. Just pinched myself. One thing again I like about Benchmade's G10 is that they always keep it unique in all their folders. Next we have is our FRN UKPK. This is the Rescue. Gen 1 blade steel. Very neat. Got all kinds of junk on the handle. Really nice how Spyderco offers a, dang it, one-handed opening blade. 4 people in the UK. Whoops. Next up, we have this cool little folder. This is a, what do you call this again? This is from Cyclops Steelwork. Great Eastern Cutlery is the name. This was a little gift from my boy Nathan Dewey. He creates some awesome bali-songs. Check him out. Still got to return the favor for this one. He sent me this as a little gift after tree planting. Very cool on his part. All completely handmade as well there. Next we have our Spyderco Sage one. This is a solid folder. Super nice. Carbon fiber, really cheap in price. Great in quality. Amazing blade. Took this one tree planting as well. Definitely my main folder I used there, and still looks quite nice. Did sharpen it up so it has a nice edge on there as well. Next we have our mini Griptilian in the Tanto blade style. Cool folder. I love that blade shape. I don't use it near as much. It does have quite a bit of wear on the blade. Usually when my knives wear, I don't like to carry them as much. I like to keep my knives as good quality as possible. For some reason, I don't really like to carry a knife that doesn't look like it how it was when it came from production. Next we have our mini tack, Kiridashi. This is a deadly blade. It's got its long weave G10. I think it's a AUS 8 blade steel. Super sharp tip. Gotta watch out for that one. Definitely something that could do some heavy damage. Next we have my craziest folder, I would say, and that is my Benchmade Bedlam. This one is the one I'd bring to a fight if I had to, and you guys all know a common knife owner's opinion on knife fights. We don't like them. But if I had to, just check out that shape on that thing. You can carry it way down there, and that tip is deadly, and that's going to pierce in super deep and super wide. So this one, you gotta watch out for that. Don't come at me if I'm wearing this one. Also, use it for food prep. Surprisingly, never carried it. Use it only for food preparation. And finally, we have our 2 small, what do you call these, ladybugs. And this one I got from Spyderco as a little gift. And this one I bought because I lost this one. Turns out it was under my couch, and I found that probably a whole year after I lost it. So it's kind of cool, nice little surprise. So there you go, a little black one, fully serrated, and a green one in a plain edge. Half grind, half flat grind there, saber grind or whatever. So there you go. There's my little folder collection. And my camera's gonna quit so soon. So I might just give you a sneak peek at what's coming up next. There is our bali-song drawer. Also, if we have time, I think we might. We'll just check out these drawers, because also just give you a rundown on the actual storage container. Here we just have some tools. Keep all my Loctite. 2 little, what do you call those, Baliyos. Might as well keep that open. Spyderco box drawer. That one's a Benchmade box drawer. Next down, we have our box drawer for all of our other boxes. Love to keep the boxes. Alright everybody, got my camera all charged and ready to go. I believe we were on the third drawer here, my box drawer. This is just the miscellaneous boxes. You can see all of them there. They all fit in so well, it's amazing. Especially this drawer, you'll see all my Benchmade and Spyderco boxes, minus these ones here. But they fit in so well, it's amazing. It's crazy. It's like they was built for knives. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but since it is so well built for knives, if any of you guys have a large collection and don't know where to put them, seriously, you get one of these. They're so good. You can lock them. They're pretty safe. If you put some of these in there, they don't move around. You can close it, won't get dust on them. And this was only $100, so that's the price of like a Sage, a little bit cheaper. So if you're thinking about getting like a Sage or something, some $100 knife, just skip it for once, grab one of these things, and then get the Sage for your next knife. Or, I mean, you know, your $100 knife for your next knife. This is a great investment, if you ask me. It looks beautiful, too. Good for making videos as well. So, let's move on again to our bali-song drawer. We'll start off left to right, like usual. This is the Basilisk, made by Jerry Hom. This is a mid-tech knife, half production, half custom. This was a collaboration with Dalton Cutlery, I believe. This is number 94 out of 105 or 107, can't quite remember. But this is one heck of a flipper. Only reason why you don't see me flipping it over my 42 is that tip. Not only because it's so dangerous, but if you flip this over anything even somewhat hard, the tip could come right off, and probably pretty easy too. I have dropped it, and luckily it didn't break. I dropped it on the floor, but to the naked eye you can see just a little bit of dulling, but just barely. I mean, it's so minuscule. But you drop this from, you know, waist height onto concrete or something, I bet you could take off a good 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch almost off of that thing. So that's one reason why I don't flip it too much. Also, obviously, the reason of having this tip land straight into your thigh or to your hand or something. No lie, if you drop this doing some kind of crazy flip, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility that the blade could go like this deep into your hand or to your thigh or something. So that is another reason why I don't flip it a ton. When I do, it's over my bed, and I don't do anything too crazy with it. Next we have my Bradley Kimura 5. This knife is wicked. Any Bradley Kimura is a best buy if you ask me. If you're a beginner and you're looking to getting into knives or into bali-songs, I always say start with a Kimura, because if you start off with a $10, $20 knife, then you're not getting the full experience and you're probably more likely to quit. If you get a good knife, hey, you're only dropping $100 if you don't like it. And if you do like it, you have a knife that could potentially last you a lifetime, and you may not even want any more knives after this. So it's an amazing, amazing knife for only around $100. And if you're looking to get something even cheaper, you can probably just go for a used one, which you could probably get away with buying one for $50 today. There's just so many of them out there. I believe the Kimuras probably will go out of production later on this year, maybe, or next year. I did hear that. I think that might be happening. Next, I'm just going to bring out my Kimura 3. I like this one a little bit more than my 5. I think it just looks a little cooler. Again, another sweet looking bali. Awesome price. Good flippability for sure. Super, super smooth. Amazing tolerances too. Like, that's all you're ever going to get with a Kimura. So it's an amazing knife. Beginners, don't go for anything less than this. Next we have our 42. Beautiful knife, as you guys know. This is my kind of main flipper. You can see because there's about 4 years of wear on it now, and it's definitely showing. This is about as tight as I can get it at this point. It's just dropped too many times, but this thing will still last me a lifetime, which I love. And it is a great flipper, decent flipper all around, not your best flipper in the world, but I have used this so much that this is just the one for me, and it's my first ever good knife and my first ever good bali-song. So this one has a little bit of a special place in my heart, as I've said before. But there is definitely better bali-songs out there. But again, like I say, it's all preference. To me, still, this is my favorite bali-song to flip. So I would still, I hate to say it, call this the best bali-song for me. But so many guys like the Basilisk over that, and some other knives as well. Some people like the 51 over it, but that's the 42. Another thing I want to touch on about the 42 is, if you're one of these guys who has never flipped a 42 and really wants one, has seen my videos and all the other flippers videos about the 42, and you really want one and you're willing to spend 500 bucks on it, please don't. I got mine for the MSRP when it was in production, which was $280, and that was a shitload of money, and I would say it's not even quite worth that. And of course I would buy it for $280 if this did somehow get stolen or broken, but I would not spend anywhere over $350 for this if you're looking for a new 42 in these days. So if it's 500 bucks, just stay away from it. Trust me, it is not worth it. Next we have its, you know what, we'll go to our 47 just because it's even more similar than the 62. We have our 47, same exact handle style, titanium. This is cast titanium just like the 42, not milled out. If that's what you think, it's not true. We have the spring latch, again just like the 42. The only difference is we have our Tanto blade, which looks absolutely killer. Check that thing out. Both blades are in 154 cm. I actually did have an original blade on this. Ooh, that actually just barely cut me. Just that very top layer of skin. This thing is still razor sharp. But yeah, there's the first version of this I had was 440C. The blade ended up just being super scratched from use, so I decided to ship it out to Benchmade. They popped me a new 154 cm blade in there, and it's pretty much completely new in box right now. And our tolerances are actually amazing on this one. It's beautiful. This one is, I think, even a better performer than my 42 at this point, just because it can stay tighter longer. And I would still say the 42 has better balance, but this one is amazing. Unfortunately, I do not flip this that much anymore. I did probably flip this just as much as my 42 or more than it when it did have that old blade on there, because I really didn't care how much damage was dealt to it. But now that it has that new blade, I think I'm probably just going to leave it how it is, to be honest. And again, you guys might dislike that, but you know what? I have my 42. It's pretty much the exact same as the 47. So why not beat up on one that is already beat up and just kind of leave this one for eye candy. So next we have our 62. Our 42's kind of younger brother, or its descendant, I guess you could say. This is a wicked looking knife, very reminiscent of the 42, hence the name 62. Has stainless steel handles instead of titanium, which makes it a good 2¼ ounces heavier. It's got a rounded blade, uses Zen pins instead of Tang pins. So it's a very nice bally, performs well, but it's definitely not near as well balanced as the 42. And you know what? I don't think it's quite as good looking either. The sandwich design is a pro if you ask me, but Benchmade definitely did not utilize it to its best potential. Overall, I think it's a win, but borderline. Next we have our 51. This thing rocks. This is it's close to my second favorite bally between this and the 47. This one just is, you know what, I'm not even gonna compare those two, because this one is in its class of its own. It's a morpho in literal terms and figurative terms. It's named after the morpho butterfly, which is blue and black, but I also consider it a morpho because it's a mix between the titanium and the G10 sandwich design, which is very nice. It's not perfectly balanced, it's not super heavy either, but it makes up for it because the blade is very thin. Not super heavy handles. Get off of there. I hate flies. But the handles are heavy enough to produce good enough balance to perform any trick you must do, any trick you want to do, that is. And beautiful, beautiful flipper. I think better than the Kimura, not as good as the 42. Right in between. Also very good price for about 160 bucks, I believe, on Blade HQ and GP Knives. I think both of them, they won't actually say it's 160. I think you have to either email them or something, but I believe they are 160 on both of those websites. Don't quote me on that though. Next we have its smaller brother. This is the 32 Morpho, again named after that Morpho butterfly. I like this one, at least I like the looks better than the 51. Obviously like the 51 as a flipper better. But this was the first Morpho. Some of you guys probably think it was actually the 51, and then they made a smaller version. It was actually the 32 that came out first, and then they made a larger version a bit later. But I think, if you ask me, the smaller version just kind of fits the overall essence of the knife better than the larger one. But 51 is definitely more favorable to me just for how good it flips. But this is one heck of a knife too. Looks amazing. I think, you know what? Before the 51 comes out of production, I'm sure the 32 will go out at the same time. I'm gonna get either one of these two and get someone to anodize the liners. I think green maybe. I think that'd be cool. And then just keep that one as a collector's item, because this one is also quite heavily used. This one's pretty much new in box, but I think I might get one more 51 and get those anodized just for an extra cool factor. Next we have our last Benchmade Bali of my collection. This is the 53, kind of a controversial design. This is a Charles Marlowe collab. I don't hate Benchmade for it. I know no one does, but I don't think anything less of them, because this was strictly not a flipper. This was used for, or this is made for use, not flipping. So in that sense, I think it's totally fine. I think there's some things it could be improved upon for actual use and cutting ability, but overall it's a good knife for that. Not a flipper, but it's nice and fast, nice and light, so if you do flip it, you can get that thing open super fast. So you're not going to be able to do your crazy rollovers with it. In fact, it's almost impossible to do stuff like chaplains and rollovers, but you can do your just basic openings to get it open to use to cut something nice and super fast. Dang, I'm stumbling over my words today. Next, we have our Smallflies. Now these I actually did a video on today. I was starting a little series called Closer Look, I think I'm going to call it. I actually started doing it over 2 years ago with my Kimura 5. I might do this for almost all my knives. What I wanted to do, and I had this idea a long ass time ago, was, even though I have reviews out on pretty much all of these, what I want to do is videos called Closer Look, where I just kind of do close-up footage, cool pans, maybe along to some nice music, and just give specs along the way, make it about a minute long, and just make a nice little classy video, kind of like a shortened review almost, with no speaking, just kind of almost like an artsy video just showing off the knife, called Closer Look. The reason why I didn't continue with this series is because the first scene I ever filmed on my Closer Look series with the Kimura 5 is when I cut my finger and got 7 stitches, so I threw that idea in the garbage right after that. But I just filmed a bunch of stuff with these two guys today. We'll see how it goes. I didn't do any flipping with it, just kind of filmed it in nice cool scenery. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. These are the last knives, so let's quickly finish her off. Smallfly is a beautiful, beautiful looking knife, and I'm sorry both of these are going to be somewhat dirty because I used them today. This is my favorite small flipper by far. Destroys the 32 if you ask me. These are actually in production right now, so I say pick one up for sure. These were out of production for a while, and Spyderco doesn't make bali-songs too often, so if you have some money to drop on a knife and you're looking for a small bali-song or any bali-song, check out the Smallfly. It's only about 130 bucks, I think, and it's a great buy. Beautiful, beautiful knife. My favorite small flipper, like I said. So, and yeah, I'm sorry, my blue one's a little tight right now. The black one, I flipped this thing so much, and it's so nice. So there you guys have it. There is my little collection update video. There again is my top drawer, and maybe we'll take a quick step back. And there is the full cabinet. I'm even going back a little bit more. There she is. Got my Spyderco decals on there. I think, what's on the front? I think there might be one of those on the front as well. Yeah, there she is. So, there's the storage box. There's my knives. Perfect. Only 18 seconds left of filming. And there's your video. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.